video that I had on the Fab Academy, just to give you a glimpse, people, and what we do. Can we? Or maybe I go and we show it later.
Very few people are looking at communities and individuals making what they consume as a meaningful part of the future of work.
We have 104 sites connected right now. At about a minute per lab, we're going to go around the world and meet everybody connected.
Actually, I remember that when I was in second grade, there was a poster making contest on what you want to be when you grow up. And at that time, I wanted to be an inventor.
This is a class directly about how to learn the skills of digital fabrication today.
So we have a unique opportunity right now. It's kind of like 1965 for Fab.
Instead of doing one skill, we have many different options where everybody can cover different skills.
So the future looks awesome. And this is because from this program, many other programs are born. And the Fab Academy is the second one. And this is quite popular now, and it's the third year that we do it. And this program has a different origin, because rather than starting from MIT and going to the rest of the world, this program was born from the Fab Lab network. So it's the Fab Lab network that teaches itself new skills. And this is very powerful, because it shows that we can use the Fab Lab network infrastructure as an educational platform for teaching so many things. It's not only about digital fabrication, but it's about mixing digital fabrication with other topics. In this case, we are using synthetic biology. We do bacteria dyeing. We do grow our own materials for innovating a specific industry. So we moved from a general one-size-fits-all training on digital fabrication to a vertical training for professionals that they want to innovate an industry. And this is very powerful, because you see some of the classes that you see here are similar to the ones that we do in Fab Academy, but many others are new stuff. New stuff that was developed in Fab Lab. It's research that has been developed in Fab Lab to innovate an industry. So what we get is the possibility to provide a high-level training to people all over the world. Of course, we are not stopping there. You have met in the last days Daniele, and Daniele is working on teaching people how to make machines by themselves. And we are also working with Vanessa from Peru. She started a small startup called iFurniture that took digital fabrication as we teach it in the Fab Academy and transformed it into a sustainable local business for Peruvian women that learn how to make furniture and deliver it locally with parametric models, so it's not one size fits all. You can customize your furniture on a website and then have it produced by girls locally, and then have it shipped to your house, all in 2 days. And this works in Lima. It's already done. In a city that is pretty poor, which has a very high unemployment rate, they managed to create a sustainable business for themselves. And this is our approach. We take something that works in one part of the world, and we try to scale it up to the global Fab Lab network. So the global programs, as I mentioned before, are meant to train the leaders of the global Fab Lab network, those that keep the links between different regions, between different continents, and at the same time working together to develop new content. And this new content is targeted to global issues. So we have unemployment, which is a global issue. We have pollution, which is a global issue. And with this program, we are trying to find solutions to these problems. And the global programs work, as Sherry mentioned, with a global faculty that run global classes via video conferencing in English language. And we have a fixed day every week that we take this class at a fixed time. And of course, this creates some issues I will talk about later. But of course, but the most important thing is that people don't only learn online, they have peers, they have a mentor locally that can help them do the things in practice. It's easy to watch a tutorial on YouTube, but then when you want to replicate it in your lab, it's not as easy. You need somebody that already did that process to learn fast, unless you want to spend a lot of time by trial and error. But what you get in the global program is to have a local mentor and machines and a lab and infrastructure to run. Of course, we want to have the same standard for all the students. When you get a Fab Academy diploma or a Fab Academy diploma, that says that you master the skills that are taught in the class. And how we certify that? We have project presentations, so every student presents every week his work to the rest of the world. We have a final project, and of course we have a portfolio website where the students every week document their work, attach source files, so we can check actually if they can do or not their assignments. And this also builds their portfolio, so when they finish the class, they can go to a job and check and show, I can do these things. I took 20 classes, and in this class I made this project, and you can download the file and replicate my work. This is very powerful. In some cases, this is much more powerful than a degree from a prestigious institution, because it's not, you are not faking it, it's real. It's real skills that you can prove to the world. The problem of the global programs is that we have to face some learning barriers. One is language. Not everybody speaks English, and not everybody is available to wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning to take a class in Asia that we are running globally. And not everybody has a Fab Lab nearby, for example. It's very difficult to have so many big labs all around the world. Many labs are just smaller. They have less infrastructure. And then the materials. It's very difficult in some places of the world to access all the materials that we use inside the classes. And so local programs are kind of the solution of these, for these issues. So we are developing the Fab Academy 0 and the Fab Academy X to be run locally in the local language, sharing the top expertise from the Global Fab Lab network, but also working on local solutions from local issues. Every country has a different set of problems, and of course the people living in that country know the problems better than the global leaders of the Fab Lab network. So in this case, with local programs, we can train people that can train other people locally in their local language. The idea is to try to adapt this vision, mixing the two approaches. So we can provide the local training, we can provide the basic local training, for example, for filling the gaps that people, maybe not everybody is able to use a 2D CAD computer program, or not everybody is able to solder. And these skills are really slow you down when you take more advanced classes. So we can work locally, filling the gaps. And this really depends on the audience you get, the kind of students, for example, you get. Or if we are training teachers, not everybody is an engineer. Some are mathematicians, some study literature. So we want to kind of level out the differences between the audience. But also we want to offer the global expertise. So we take the Fab Academy content and we can adapt it locally. But I think we also need to cover the differences between each countries. For example, if you are teachers in China, you will have to comply with Chinese regulation about teaching Chinese syllabus. And we need to mix and match the content, the global content that we provide into the local reality, the local user group. I mean, if you teach to teachers, is one thing. If you teach to entrepreneurs, it's another thing. They have different backgrounds. They have also different mindsets. And also age sometimes plays a part. No, if you teach to young students, it's different than when you teach to older students, no? So how global and local programs can work? Basically, the model is the same. What we want to add is the local language, the local time, the local schedule. Not everybody necessarily needs to be trained in 6 months. You can take 2 years if it's necessary. And we can dilute somehow all these amount of information into small sized chunks that can be easier to digest for most of the teachers. And we can also work on, for example, regional specific materials and machines. I mean, for example, in Russia, you don't find US-based machines. I mean, machines from US-based producers. They all have their own fab inventory made in Russia. And the same probably can apply to China and to Asia in general. So you get trained on using the things that you will find in the labs where you are going to work. And this is quite interesting. What we want to create is a locally accredited curriculum, so that the global programs that we are creating can be accredited by the Chinese institutions, and at the same time, the Chinese institution can accredit the training programs that we do globally. And this is very powerful because we create a link between the global dimension and the local dimension. So at the evaluation level, you could have a local evaluation by local mentors, but we also want to certify globally the work that we do locally, so that you can go in another country and be recognized as a trained teacher for Fab Labs. And this is also very powerful. We think that moving people around the world, we do that all the time, going to work in Fab Labs in different countries, makes the experience much, much more richer. And especially, for example, for the Fab Academy, you can take Fab Academy in 13 countries in the world, and the content will be the same, the teachers will be the same, but you get also the living in a different country experience and meeting a different culture experience. So our certification process works on learning outcomes. This is a globally recognized way of certifying skills. So we don't give grades. There is not an A or B or C or a number. You pass or not pass. That means that you master the learning outcomes that we are defining. And for all the programs, we have handbooks and that define an evaluation criteria, and then we have an online evaluation platform that we use for doing this global evaluation. The process starts with a self-assessment and then continues with a local assessment by the local mentor that knows how you work, that saw you face by face. But then you can get evaluated by a global expert that is one of the team of the Fab Academy gurus, for example, for the Fab Academy. And they kind of have an impartial vision of your work because they judge your work based on the documentation you produced. So there is maybe a project presentation so we can see the student in the face, but I mean, we judge people based on the same standards, based on what they did. And what they did is documented online. So Fab Academy X China will be putting together the Fab Academy, the basics that are needed to do the Fab Academy, plus the STEM teaching curriculum for China. So local content plus global content, local assessment plus global assessment can be a really productive formula. And we hope to be able to join as many of you as possible in the upcoming Fab Academy X class. Jeff will talk about it later. And so just let's do it. I hope you will join the Fab Lab network and our programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fiore. Please remain on the stage. And here will come the very important moment, the opening ceremony for X project. OK， 好的，非常感谢 Fiore、Basile 为我们带来了非常精彩的分享。在现代信息技术的支持下 ，Fablab 的网络的分布式的教育发挥出了令人惊叹的世界级的影响力。我们也有请